This is Pioneer's AVIC-W8500NEX. This is an in-dash AM/FM and HD radio, CD and DVD player with a fully motorized capacitive glass touchscreen. The AVIC-W8500NEX is compatible with Android Auto and Google Assistant in a wireless configuration or wired through USB. And it works with Apple CarPlay and Apple HomeKit in a wireless configuration or wired through USB. The AVIC-W8500NEX has 3 sets of RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers and is backup camera ready and Sirius XM ready. The SD card slot and the dual USB ports can be used to connect your phone and playback MP3 or FLAC music and MP4 videos. The system features built-in navigation and built-in Bluetooth for both hands-free calling and wireless streaming audio. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. All right. Okay, the first thing we get here is the wire harness. Now, the wire harness we'll use to connect all of the electrical connections from the in-dash receiver to your vehicle, like power, ground, speakers, and so forth. Next up, we have the USB extension. Now, the USB extension here, the USB ports on the in-dash receiver are on the back, so we include a USB extension in the box to bring that USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. Next up, we have the input-output wire harness, and we'll give you a little bit closer look at the input-output wire harness here a little later in the video to show you all of the connections. Next, we have the auxiliary extension. Now, the auxiliary input on this receiver is an audio and video auxiliary input, so you can push video in through the auxiliary if you care to. Next up, we have the GPS antenna. Now, the GPS antenna here is used for Apple CarPlay wireless. It's also used for Android Auto wireless, and it's also used for the internal navigation system on the in-dash receiver. It is highly recommended to keep the GPS antenna on the inside of your vehicle. Next up, we have the Bluetooth microphone for making hands-free Bluetooth phone calls. This comes on a wire about 10 feet long or so for very flexible installation. Next, we have the wireless remote control. There is a wireless remote included in the box. And then we have some install screws and a wire tie to connect up the HDMI connection if you care to use that. Here are a couple of labels for the USB ports. You can label the wires up in your passenger compartment of your vehicle for USB 1 and USB 2. And we have the registration card. We have the quick start guide. And be sure to note that you can download a complete copy of the owner's manual in PDF form right to your phone from pioneerelectronics.com. And let's get the, here is the warranty card. There we go. Let's pull the in-dash receiver up out of here. There we are. The front panel of the AVIC-W8500NEX is a fully motorized 7-inch capacitive glass touchscreen with an SD card slot and CD/DVD slot behind the screen. The volume control is here, and the home key and display keys are here. This is the voice activation key. You'll do most of your interaction with the in-dash receiver with the 7-inch motorized capacitive glass touchscreen. The back panel of the AVIC-W8500NEX has the GPS antenna input right here. The GPS antenna is used for the system's internal navigation system, as well as Android Auto wireless and Apple CarPlay wireless. Please remember, the GPS antenna is meant to be kept on the inside of the vehicle. Here is USB port 1 used for Apple CarPlay, and here is USB port 2 used for Android Auto. Both USB ports can be used for music, movies, and still images through a USB flash drive. And remember, we include a USB extension in the box to bring the USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. Here are 3 black ports. The one on top is for operating your steering wheel controls through a third-party adapter, and the one on the bottom is the second zone audio output. The third black port is for the Bluetooth microphone included with the in-dash receiver. And here is where you'll plug in the power wire harness connected to the vehicle. On the other side, we'll start off with the dedicated port for the optional iDataLink Maestro RR OEM integration unit. Next is the HDMI input, and you'll plug in the optional SXV300 tuner from SiriusXM right here. The audio and video input and output wire harness will plug in here, and I'll show you more detail on that in just a moment. The proprietary yellow port here is used by Pioneer service centers. And finally, the AM/FM and HD radio antenna from the vehicle will plug in right here. On the signal input-output wire harness, we start off with 3 sets of 4-volt RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers. They can be set up as front, rear, and subwoofer output, or for higher audio quality and better system control, high, mid, and low output. Next, we have an audio and video RCA input. This can also be used as a second camera input. Here is the rear monitor or second zone video output. Here's the system mute. It can be used to mute the audio system if required by an external system. The brown jack here is the dedicated backup camera input. And finally, the black jack here is the audio and video auxiliary input. And that is Pioneer's AVIC-W8500NEX, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto navigation in-dash receiver. And what's in the box?